Hey, morning. Now, have you ever experienced or felt like you're entering into a life crisis of some description? Whether it could be termed as a midlife crisis, a career crisis, um, a parent becoming a parent crisis, quarter life crisis. That's something that we hear nowadays. And I wonder if you have experienced it, that it really does feel pretty bloody horrible, um, and often people describe it as a sense of being really stuck. There's a sense of not living your best life, or the life that you uh, want to live or expected. You're not feeling how you expected to feel. And I was thinking about this morning, and actually I don't think this is the crisis. I don't think this is the crisis. What I actually think is that whilst it feels like a crisis, it's actually about an inner wisdom. Not all the time, not all the time, but often it's about tuning in, waking up. And it's like the effects of cultural programming, social definitions of success, the ideas that we have around what we should be doing, who we should be, that are defined by everything out there in our environment, external to us. And we're feeling those effects, and we're noticing that it's not working out, you know, um, it's waking up and tuning in to that feeling. And that often happens, we start tuning in and not turning away when shit hits the fan, you know. Often it's around periods where we're challenged, or periods of change. And I think the actual crisis, and this is my thinking this morning, the crisis comes when we feel like there's no alternative, when our support and our connection with other people and direction, sense of direction too, is tied to the environment that we're in, is tied to the current reality that we're in. So to do anything around it, to do anything about it, to change, feels totally impossible, gut-wrenchingly impossible, and it's paralyzing. When your mates, your family, your peers, and they're still climbing some sort of ladder, they're still tuned in to that culturescape, that socially driven rule book around what we should be doing success. If they're still tuned into that, where do you go? You know, they haven't woken up yet necessarily. They might feel, certain things inside at times, but they're not bringing that out. They're not fully there yet, and it can feel bloody isolating. You feel unsupported. You don't feel like you can share this stuff. There's something wrong with you, and if you've been tuned in for this for a long time, and the world around you is operating in this way, it can affect your sense of self, your self-worth, how you feel about your self-esteem. And so there's the crisis. It's not a crisis of feeling like something's out of whack, or wanting to do something different, for something to change. That's waking up. That's tuning in. The crisis comes when you don't know what to do about it, and you don't feel supported, and you feel different and weird and isolated. But you know what? There are bloody millions of people around the world feeling exactly the same way, and they're not talking about it. Not really, because there's that push-pull, towards what is and something different. So, what if it became normal to start creating your life from tuning into yourself? And it was something that you could talk about and share and network and get fired up about and feel supported and feel normal and feel a sense of belonging. There was something to go to that challenged what is culturally normal.